Hello and welcome once again. This is Jennifer McGuire. I have to apologize because I'm very sick, so my voice sounds a little off, but I really wanted to bring you today's video. Today I am going back to the basics and doing a technique that we all often forget about, and that is direct to paper. So Hero Arts is celebrating their 45th anniversary. They've been making stamps for 45 years, and Hero Arts is definitely my favorite company. I used to work for them for a long time and learned all of my stamping from them. So I am very honored to be participating today in their celebration. Now they, for their 45th anniversary, decided to bring back stamps from the vault, so older images, so that we could relive those olden days of stamping. So I thought I'd bring back an older technique. I had such fun using these classic images with the classic technique of direct to paper. The nice thing about direct to paper is any inks will work, and I will show you a variety of ideas for this technique today. Now, for most of my cards, I will be using the new Hero Arts Hero Hues Reactive Inks. But again, you can use what you have. This is a very smooth ink. It's a hybrid ink. This ink stamps beautifully because it has both dye and pigment ink properties. And because they're so smooth, they blend great with any type of ink blending tool. I really like the color palette. I'm missing a few of the brighter blue colors, but you can see the happy color palette that Hero Arts has come out with. They even included a white. Now there are fun techniques that you can do with water using these inks, which I'll show you. But in most cases, I just use these inks because they're smooth and go onto paper so nicely. Okay, so let's start by doing some direct to paper inking techniques, and then I will show you some simple card designs, but a few tricks along the way. Now, my first direct to paper technique is a fun way of dragging your ink onto your paper to form a circle of colors. I wanted a smaller circle, so I'm using the side or the end of the ink pad. But if you wanted a larger circle to cover the entire card front, you could drag the longer side of the ink pad. Now, I'm not going for a solid result here. If I wanted a solid result, I could press the ink pad firmly, and that would provide a nice solid circle of color. I wanted to have that dragging motion. I think it really adds a lot of texture to what will be a very simple card design when I pull these together. So dragging an ink pad across your cardstock is a very common way to do direct to paper, and I'll have some more examples with that. Next, I wanted to show you another way that people often forget to do direct to paper, and it is definitely the easiest. You just take your ink pad and press down lightly onto cardstock. I like to layer a few different colors of ink on top of each other. What is cool about this is the felt pad on the ink pad leaves kind of like a linen texture of ink onto your cardstock. So it's just a beautiful, soft, subtle texture and a great way to mix colors. I do find that I like direct to paper inking techniques best if my ink pad is a felt pad, which most dye inks are. Now in this case, I'm once again dragging my ink onto paper. I start on one side with the pool party ink and on the other side with green, allowing the colors to overlap in the middle. This is a great way to create a gradient look of color. Another way to do this same technique is on textured paper. So I'm using Tim Holtz watercolor paper because one side has some beautiful texture to it. I'm again dragging the ink pads across the paper, but I'm doing so with a light hand so that the ink only ends up on the raised areas, leaving the